Hiya folks, welcome back. Before I start, I know what you're thinking. Is this turning into some sort of weird woodworking cum gardening channel? And no, it's not. Although, are there any UK gardening YouTube channels? I haven't come across any. Post in the comments below and let us know. I'm not setting up another YouTube channel. No. But I figured, you know, the vast majority of people who watch this channel are of a certain age where you probably own a hedge of some description. And there's a lot of people who watch this channel who already are committed to the Makita battery platform. So, you know, it kind of all interlinks. And I bought myself one of these Makita hedge trimmers. It is the DUH523. And I'll tell you right now, it is awesome. It's one of those kind of purchases that I wish I'd made years ago, although to be honest, I don't know when this even came out. I think it's quite recent. Anywho, like most folk who have progressed through the rite of passage of hedge trimmer ownership, I started life with an electric corded hedge trimmer. This has nothing to do with a hedge trimmer, it's just to illustrate a thing with a cord on it. And you know, the corded hedge trimmers are great. It's probably the tool that's most likely to be used where you accidentally cut through the cord. It's very easy to do. Touch wood, I've never done it yet, but generally speaking, bad things happen when you accidentally cut through hedge trimmer wires. The last corded one that I owned a while ago was a piece of junk and the gearing broke inside it before I even got a chance to cut through the electric cable. So I then upgraded to a Petrol hedge trimmer. And I just went for the Titan TTL531HDC, and to be fair, it was really good and it did the job. But the trouble is with Petrol hedge trimmers is that you've got the chew on of needing to have petrol and two-stroke oil as well. And it is a bit of a fanny on. And the other thing with the Petrol hedge trimmer is that you sometimes run into problems when you need to use it on its side, which generally speaking, you are going to be using hedge trimmers on the sides all the time. But depending on what angle it ends up at, you end up with the fuel line not necessarily sitting in the fuel. And sometimes it's very easy to accidentally starve the engine of fuel while it's running. Plus, you've also got the other issue with the Petrol hedge trimmer, that depending on what angle you're using it at, you get hot exhaust fumes coming out of here. And if you're trying to cut a hedge like this, you can get burnt off the exhaust fumes, so you do have to be a little bit careful with it. And the other thing with the Petrol one as well is that they are quite heavy to use, so fine for me because I'm hard as nails, but some people have said that they've got a little bit tired in the arm department while using them. Not me. A man's allowed to treat himself. So I thought I'm going to get myself a cordless hedge trimmer. You might think that's a bit geeky, but I was very excited about this. So I kind of had it narrowed down to the Makita or the Erbauer, which were both around the same price. The Erbauer one was a little bit cheaper, I think, but I've already got Erbauer batteries and I've already got Makita batteries, so I was in two minds. But I wasn't 100% certain whether the Erbauer batteries that I already own are going to fit their hedge trimmers. I'm assuming it probably would. The only Erbauer battery technology I've got at the minute is on this little handheld circular saw. It's not great, but it's one of these things that I kind of chuck in the back of the truck when I'm heading off to the timber yard or B&Q or something and I need to quickly chop something in half before fitting it into the truck. So as I say, I ended up going for the DUH523 and I'm very happy with it. In fact, I would say it's one of the best tool purchases that I've made in a long time. I'll run you through some specs of it quickly. Apparently it's the DUH523Z this, but it doesn't seem to say that on it. It says DUH523. I have no idea what the Z means on the end. Post in the comments below if you know that. I paid £94.99 for it bare, so with no battery. And I'm running it with a 4 ampere hour Makita 18 volt battery, which I believe you can get for about 75 quid for the genuine Makita ones, or obviously if you want to go for aftermarket ones, that's up to you. I haven't had great experience with going for non-branded aftermarket batteries. So do be careful if the battery looks unusually cheap. Lithium-ion batteries aren't something to take any chances with, because I've heard of several fires caused by cheap Chinese import fake batteries, so do be careful with that. The 4 ampere hour 18 volt Makita battery is a BL1840B, 72 watt hours, and by the looks of it the battery cells in this are made in Singapore. So it's a 52 centimeter blade, 1350 strokes per minute, maximum cutting diameter 15 millimeters. And the other thing to bear in mind with the Makita is the weight of it. It's dead lightweight, which is really what you want when you're holding something out at arm's length trying to cut a hedge while you're precariously balanced up some sort of ladder. With the battery, with the 4 ampere hour battery, you're looking at 3 kilos or thereabouts. 3.5 kilos I would have said. Whereas the petrol ones, certainly past 5 I would have said that's about 6 kilos. So these are literally double the weight of the cordless. You'll see in a minute how easy this is to use on a relatively big hedge. But price-wise, as I say, I paid $94.99 for these. I got them from Screwfix, but I think Amazon have them for about 80 quid or thereabouts. 80 quid for the bare unit without the battery, and as I say, you might already have the battery platform anyway, so you might not need to buy the batteries. 80 quid, I think it's an absolute steal. The other thing, apparently it's a user replaceable blade if anything does go wrong with the blade. And listen this, it is a stain-free shear blade surface of glittering silver obtained by non-electrolyzed nickel plating that features high anti-abrasion surface for long-lasting coating. That sounds like marketing box to me, but what else do the technical specs say? Rubberized soft grip? Yeah, I suppose. Anti-vibration structure. Oh, and it's got a battery capacity warning lamp as well, so this little LED on the top here starts blinking when the battery's about to run out. But in all honesty, you've got, on the newer batteries anyway, the newer Makita batteries, you've got the little indicator thing anyway, so you can see how much battery's left. In terms of actually using it, we've got a safety switch here, so you can't press the trigger without pressing that in, and you can either push it in with your finger from the right, or you can push it in with your thumb from the left, depending on whether you're left or right-handed. So there's no handedness restrictions on it whatsoever. And then you've also got the safety trigger here as well. So you can't switch it on unless you do the safety catch release and the trigger here, and then you also have to do the one here, and then that switches it on. Or obviously you can just hold that and trigger it with your finger from here. You can hear it's pretty quiet as well. I'll leave it on while I'm talking. It's apparently 77 decibels A-weighted, although it does say on the unit itself it says 89 dB, but that's LWA, so I'm not sure it's a measurement thing whether you're measuring LWA or dBA, but either way, much quieter than the Petrol hedge trimmers. And of course it comes with a standard Makita 3-year warranty as well. In terms of actually using it, I used it to cut a pretty big privet hedge, and it took me probably about 2 hours if you can gauge the size of the hedge from that, and the battery indicator only went down from 4 to 3. So the battery's going to last, I would say, easily for the size of your average hedge. Obviously, if you're using it commercially, I don't know, maybe for commercial use you should stick to the Petrol. I don't know. Pop in the comments below. I'm not a commercial gardener, but I reckon I would get easily a day's worth of hedge trimming out of a single charge of the 4 ampere hour battery. I've also tried using it on a big laurel hedge, and it cut it absolutely no problem whatsoever. I also tried it on a pyracantha hedge, and it coped with it no problem whatsoever. Got through all of the big branches, easily up to 10 mil diameter, maybe a bit wider, and it just made mincemeat of them. Great piece of kit. I am over the moon with this. If you're in the market for a hedge trimmer, and you want to use your existing battery platform, then I would certainly consider the Makita. If you've been using one of these for a little while and you've had problems, or you've got one and you find that it's really good, pop in the comments below and let us know how you've been getting on with it. I normally try to only do tool reviews after I've been using it for a while, and this is pretty new for me. So far it's been great. I'll report back next year if I have any problems. If anyone in the northeast wants to buy my Petrol hedge trimmers, I'll do you a good deal. Barely used. Thanks again for watching. Take care folks. See you next time.